See, because we're speaking out now and gatekeeping our culture, and we holding these other groups accountable, all heck is breaking loose across the diaspora, right? I saw a video the other day where you had some people in the UK going back and forth with Nigerians. I saw some Nigerians in a heated, I'm talking about smackdown debate with South Africans. It was like South Africans versus everybody. And I keep telling y'all, we move the needle. When we start talking, when we start moving, everybody start moving. The sister from the UK, she wasn't dissing black Americans. She was taking a cue from us and was going after the Nigerians because she was saying that the Nigerians was coming to the UK using Caribbean culture to erase their culture by putting their culture over. Basically just saying, well, it's all African anyway. They was amalgamating themselves right into Jamaican and Trinidadian culture while not even mentioning them. Right? And this is the stuff that's been happening here in America, right? So now because we're talking about it, everybody's talking about it now. Everybody's starting to delineate and hold things accountable because a lot of these Africans for a long time was trying to make us generic Africans. Now, this ain't African hate. This is the same way you guys want to gatekeep Yoruba. You guys want to gatekeep Akan and Ashanti and all that stuff. Well, we want to gatekeep our accomplishments. Our accomplishment is not Africans' accomplishments. You guys wasn't here, right? Our accomplishments, yeah, you can mention Shirley Chisholm. You can mention Marcus Garvey. You can mention all those people. They came here and became a part of something that was already established, something that already existed, right? So now you have Asians now starting to speak out. All these groups are starting to speak out, right, in appreciation for what black Americans have been putting down because we've been blowing the trumpet now. And we're saying that we're no longer going to be the footstool for everybody else.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk about this all the time is that like for Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, right? I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, if it wasn't for that,
yes,
there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. So. And what I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black,
yes,
right? And the fact that you don't recognize that shows you how much you take this for granted and how much you don't care about the future. Because
yes,
if you understood this, you would be grateful for their sacrifice and understand what they have gone through for you to have rights. And the second thing along with that is I remind you that liberty and rights don't exist in perpetuity. They exist as long as we say they exist. And if you want it to continue in the future, it's not going to be black people again. They're not going to go to fight this battle for you again this time. You will have to go fight it.
My parents are successful Caribbean immigrants, and I've never bought into this scam, and I often wonder why people do. First of all, African migrants and Indian migrants, they came to the United States by choice. That's usually different than a lot of the demographics of Americans who are not able to achieve the American dream. Second, migrants from Africa and India, they either come here, A, because they have strong social support of family or friends, or B, because they had a specific skill that the United States wanted more of. The idea that hard work equals success is a myth. People in power want you to believe that anyone can achieve success when success is so circumstantial. My dad, he works just as hard as the man that comes to mow our lawn. People who achieve the American dream are the exception that prove the rule.
So now you have Asians and Indian people, and everybody recognizes it because I keep telling you guys, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourselves, the way you view yourselves, right? You're not allowing people to just run all over you like that no more. Them days is out. Them days is over with. And people starting to wake up and realize the Asians know that their American dream was built off the backs of Black Americans, us patronizing them, us fighting for them. They're well aware of that. But if we're not willing to protect and respect our own, why should they do it? Why should they do it? It's self-preservation out here. They're going to come and do for themselves, right? Then you deal with the Indian people, some of the most, we already know how they are. They're hardcore and vicious, right? But they're starting to step out and step up because they know that we're tired, that we're closing the door. But you have a lot of Africans come over here, a lot of Africans when they come over here, right? They want to gatekeep our culture and tell us that we don't have culture, while at the same time not exhibiting their own culture. They come here, they change their language, they don't dress in their traditional African garb. They're not eating their foods. They come in here, sometimes you can't even tell them any different from us.
Why don't you feel comfortable dressing in African gear?
Oh, in public?
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
That's crazy.
Let me tell you why. I don't even wear it for like family weddings and special occasions. I wouldn't be wearing it outside
So why are you only African when you with your family? But outside of your family, you're Black American.
I wasn't, you know what? I wasn't going like that. Like,
And the reason I ask you this is because right now you're young.
Yeah, that's true.
You get to really ask yourself these questions when you're growing up. Like, why am I only acting African when I'm on my African family, but when I'm outside,
you don't really act African?
Yeah.
When you say acting, you talking about like what we dress. I know I claim and I act African, like in a way. Do you know what I mean? But
you don't act African. You got tied it up. This is not.
No, but like, you know what it is?
Not African, bro.
I wasn't born and raised there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was born and raised here.
But it's your culture. Like, it's your.
It's true,
you go home, you eat food with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you probably don't even talk like this.
Oh, if I speak to my mom?
Yeah. I know some Africans switch up their dialect.
They do.
You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
You do that out here. Like,
we do that. Even when we were like, when we're out.
You code switch.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's just maybe.
Oh, why?
I love to play soccer, make music for show, and dance. That's it for real.
All right, why did you join Chop Love?
Shit, who
I joined Chop Love.
I want to be for you, but yeah. No, stop. Let's just stop. You actually think.
Why did you join Chop Love?
It's 2025. Who don't want to find love? That's why I joined. I'm looking for my heart.
Y'all don't find that weird? That everybody in the world sits around and cosplay us all day. Say we don't have culture. Y'all don't find that weird? That boy said, you know what? Why do we do that? Our culture is so global. Y'all don't think Black Americans have a culture because everybody's too busy pretending to be us.
And see, this is not me saying it. This is the words coming out of their mouths. To the point where they even do this. It's copying our culture all the time. Now, the thing is, the reason why we got smoke, because y'all come over here and say that we don't have culture. Y'all come over here and try to take over our culture instead of respecting the house that you're in. That's our only argument that we're making, right? We don't really have problems with y'all like that. Y'all got problems with us for some reason, right? Right? And we're shocked by it. Yeah, we made some jokes and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to actually like trying to harm or being xenophobic, nah, man, that's all a bunch of crap, right? But the thing is, I saw this video where some Africans and some immigrants was talking about us and not knowing who we are. And they ran into a brother they thought was stupid. And the brother really laid them out and exposed them because he started talking about West African countries that was put together by the European and how these countries ain't even that old. And those tribes and stuff were amalgamated and pushed in together and forced to create countries that didn't exist in ancient time, right? So you guys are not even that old, right? He exposed this.
We relate
more than you can relate to him. You know why? Because you are first generation African born in the UK, as I am a Mexican, Mexican born in the US. So me and you are more similar than you are to him. Because his people have been there for hundreds of years already. So
I'm saying before that, do you know where you originate from?
The black people in America before Christopher Columbus.
So do you think your lineage started in America if you go back?
I do think that it depends on what you consider a start point for anybody. Because when it comes down to even to you, you're from Kenya. Kenya's first census was in 1969. That's how long Kenyan people can go back with the affirmative paperwork of how long you have been there. Us, in America, we had our first census in the 1700s. So that's when the war for 1776 happened in America, when we pushed away from the United Kingdoms. So when you sit down and say where you're originally from, I can ask you that more than you can ask me that. That's why some of the people from your country, their birthdays are all like January 1st on their birth certificates. So when people say,
what's all this to say though? What's this leading up to?
You can't sit down and say, I'm not from America, because you have no documentation of where you're from. And I can sit down and say, I'm from America, and I can date back over to 1700 that proves that from a definitive lineage and time.
See, they thought they had a dumb brother right there, and the brother let them know, like, yo, nah, it ain't going down like that. It ain't going down like that. So he really expressed to them something about their countries that they didn't even know. And I noticed that by having friends from Ivory Coast, friends from Mauritania, friends from Zimbabwe, here in Philadelphia, having friends from different places. I started to find out that I know more about Africa and their culture than they know about it themselves. They only know about their tribe. Anything outside their tribe, they don't even know. They don't even understand and know a lot of the politics. That's the crazy part, right? And it gets real goofy, but this is brother right here, because of our delineation and us separating, you do have a lot of brothers and sisters that's starting to wake up, man, and speak positive.
Are furious. And it is a sign of jealousy that black Americans cannot be deported anywhere. They're untouchable. They're untouchable. You have to understand, and you have to agree the truth. Man, black Americans have done nothing to you. They welcomed you with both hands. They welcomed everyone. They fed everyone. They supported everyone. They supported every business. They supported every move. But then what they received back, man, it's not something good. It's not really something good. Even if there is no love, even if there is no any, you don't feel that, just respect. Have respect to those people who receive you in the country. Because we know some other countries where you can just move to, man, and you can't make it. You can't even succeed. But immigrants come to the United States, they succeed. They get richer, they get money, they get everything. And then, you know, the payback to the host, to the people who received you, you say they are lazy, they don't know how to work. We shouldn't have behaved like that. At least you should have appreciated people who received you. You should have appreciated that simple action, just appreciation and respect. That's what the black Americans need. Appreciation and respect. In every society, respect. You respect others, they respect you. But then after that, you wish them to be deported. Where? Where? Because you, the immigrants, you have migrated from somewhere. That's the meaning of immigrants. You have migrated from somewhere here. Why do you want people who are born from there, they own ancestral lands there, and you want them to be deported? Man, that's nonsense. It seems that the good thing the black Americans do to immigrants, it always backfires them. And then immigrants come to the United States, and then they always claim different parts of the United States as theirs. Some immigrants in the United States are furious that black Americans cannot be deported. Man, I thought it was jokes. People have ignored the truth. Maybe they don't even know that, or they have ignored the reality. They still claim why black Americans cannot be deported. They don't know the history. They don't want to read. They don't even care. For them, they want black Americans to be deported no matter what. They found out that it is impossible. It's not possible to just deport black Americans like the way they deport others. It started when the Latinos were questioning why black Americans can't be deported. Mexicans, same. Africans, same. Saying that, oh, we're the same with black Americans. Why can't black Americans be deported? They always in that delusion of thinking that Black Americans have same status as other immigrants, which is not the truth. Black Americans have supported everybody. Let's put respect on those people. People, they see that Black Americans, why are not getting deported? Why? What's behind that? They always point that you're going to be the next. You Black Americans, you're going to be the next. But then they found out Black Americans cannot be deported. People should have done their research. Because telling Black Americans that you're the next, man, it's like you're ignoring the reality. You're ignoring what's real. For you, you are using your emotions. Your emotions are controlling you, feeling that, man, if I'm being targeted to be deported, so the Black Americans have to be deported too, which is impossible. You forget that Black Americans have put a stone in the foundation of the country.
So again, my FBA family, not an emotional rant from me. No, I let them do it in their own words, right? You have some, not every immigrant is a tether. You have some brothers that's standing up, man, and stepping out, man, stepping up for us, right? And shout out to them, man. We love them. But them other ones, man, we already know what they about and who they are, man. We see you, right? And we stepping away from you, man. And we're naming and claiming ourselves, man. And we doing it unapologetic. We don't owe nobody nothing. Nothing. And we letting the whole world know that everybody's on notice, man. Everybody's on notice. We are not moving the way that we used to move before. Shout out to our grandparents and great-grandparents of the past. They were moving in the manner in which they were supposed to move for the time they were in. Now we're in our time, and we're not moving that way no more. Them days is over with, man. Them days is over with. You don't get to come here and disrespect us. So the Asians is waking up, the Indians is waking up because we're blowing the trumpets, man. We're sounding the horns. We're sounding the alarms, man. And we're not playing no more. The doors is locked. The windows are shut. You got to ring the bell now, man. And you got to show who you are before we let you in the house, because we don't trust nobody. But listen, if you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.